Welcome to your weekly motivation. Happy tunes and creative inspiration. Believing in yourself starts here at Soft Pants Nation. Soft Pants Nation. Soft Pants Nation. Hello, everybody. Hi. Welcome to Soft Pants Nation. Yes. Hey, Doug. Hey, Susan. Welcome to the show tonight. So, Soft Pants Nation is run by me, Amanda Duncan, and my friend Faith Songco, and she is on West Coast time. She is She lives in Portland, which I think is pretty cool. And they recycle very well out there. But this show is about getting the inspiration to do the creative things you want to do in your life. Believe in yourself, because if you believe that you can live a creative life, you leave the world a better place. And I love that. So, uh, let's just hop into it. Let's just hop into my tunes. And this song I came out with as a single. Let me just show the artwork really, really quick. Right here. So this came out last week on all streaming platforms, and I'm super pumped about it. I actually took the time. To listen to it on Spotify. Ready? I'm ready for it. uh, I'm gonna play the tune right now. It's called "Get on the Plane." Get on the plane. Get in the car. I'll do what I have to do to get where you are. Through the rain and snow, I'll find a way to be right next to you on the sunny days. But it always feels like I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere, and we've spoken so little, and the distance between you and me is worlds apart. So pick up the telephone. Whoa, 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 whoa. You don't have to be alone. Whoa, 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 whoa. Pick up the telephone. Whoa, 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 whoa. So if you're feeling all alone, pick up the telephone. I wanna see that candlelight and celebrate another year of your beautiful life. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna make big plans. Summer spent in Montreal and winters in San Fran. But it always feels like I'm coming and a going. The winds of change keep hissing and a blowing. I can never seem to keep my feet on solid ground. So pick up the telephone. Whoa, 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 whoa. You don't have to be alone. Whoa, 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 whoa. Pick up the telephone. Whoa, 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 whoa. So if you're feeling all alone, pick up the telephone. Just hold on a little longer. I'll be there, I promise. Wait for me and pick up the telephone. Whoa, 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 whoa. You don't have to be alone. Whoa, 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 whoa. Pick up the telephone. Whoa, 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 whoa. So if you're feeling all alone, pick up the telephone. Pick up the telephone. Whoa, 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 whoa. You don't have to be alone. Whoa, 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 whoa. Pick up the telephone. Whoa, 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 whoa. So if you're feeling all alone, pick up the telephone. I did it. I had a lot of saliva building up during that tune. Okay. Let me just make sure I'm getting like weird notifications. Turn off so I don't see them. Okay. Oh, so I am happy to be here. It's May 4th, and then someone just pointed out that I put Monday, May 4th on my thumbnail. Oh, well. It's funny. I'm just like been thinking a lot lately about just I feel like I'm kind of like in a rat race, right? Like I talk on this show, so I put out the single last week, and I know that and Doug, thank you so much for saying that you like this artwork, because I feel proud of it. I actually worked really hard on it, and so I feel I've gotten a couple compliments on it, and it feels kind of nice. Whoa! Actually, speaking of Star Wars, I watched the original Star Wars. I want to say like a month and a half ago, because I've seen it as a lot as a kid, but I barely remembered it, and I didn't really watch it in my adulthood to remember what the story was about. And I was like, wow, like I get why people are like super into this. And then I tried watching the second episode, like, I guess I know you're supposed to watch it in order of how they came out. And I was very tired and I was falling asleep. Please don't hate me, but I promised to watch the rest of it. Hey Jazzy, what's up? So yeah, so I'm still working on my music video for Second Best. I'm almost done. I've just been having a lot of weird monkey wrenches happening and things just kind of getting in the way. And so yeah, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But it's coming out really cool. So I think that it'll be worth it, worth the wait. I promise. So actually, before I guess I want to go into the chat really quick just to make sure everyone is saying hi. Woo! Okay, there's Susan, Doug, Faith, Jazzy, Empire. Okay, Empire Strikes Back is fantastic. Yes, there's just a lot of fighting in the beginning, and I didn't know. It kind of like leaves you off without it kind of gives you the exposition in the beginning, but then after that it's like, wait, what happened? They leave out some things. I'm like, what's happening? And then there's just a lot of people shooting at each other with lasers. So I understand why people like it, but I'm waiting for the story. So I only got like 25 minutes in. Maybe no, I think I got 40 minutes in, and it was mostly fighting. So I'm waiting for the story. Please don't hate me for saying that. So the question of the week is, how do you, oh no, I ruined this. I'm going to fix this right now. I'm going to fix it. Sorry, Faith. How do you measure your success? And that's what this episode is mostly about. So, yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about that this episode, and I want to plant the seed. It's like, how do you measure your own success? But as you know, oh, I forgot to put my song title up for myself. But now, guess what? Mover and shaker of the week. Okay, so this is Chris Songco, actually related to Faith Songco. This is Faith's brother, and I thought it would be a great idea to share Chris's talents with the world, because Chris is somebody who has always been super driven to create all the time and to put stuff out into the world. And I actually had spoke with him a couple years ago on the phone. I think he maybe felt like he was sort of like in a slump. And I'm glad that he got over that hump, because boy, is he creating now. So I want to tell you his story. I've played guitar since high school and most recently performed in venues and open mics in San Francisco and the Bay Area. I also do freestyle rap as part of my performance, which is insane. You have to see some of that. Like, I don't understand, Chris, how you just like come up with the words that just flow out of your mouth, which requires audience participation. Unfortunately, live shows are limited by time, money, and physical space, especially now during COVID. My friend brought up an idea of performing on Twitch. Streaming doesn't constrain you with a venue or schedule, and you can perform theoretically for anyone in the world. In December 2018, I set out a goal to perform music and stream live on Twitch. I did initial research, but I learned a lot through trial and error and actually doing Twitch streams. To give this new space a fair shot, I gave myself a timeline of 2 years to do a trial period with a consistent schedule of streaming, 3 days a week for those 2 years, which, what a great practical way to give yourself like an opportunity to see if it would work. I love that. Now that 2 years have passed, I feel I understand the Twitch space more now. I tried different topics and formats ranging from music, freestyle, rap, video games, and tarot reading, which is also like I didn't know you did that till you were streaming. This is incredible. It is a constant project that can be improved. So building a progress mindset versus a results-driven mindset definitely helped me keep going. Blocks and doubts have occurred and still do, but I believe that I can get through them by talking with peers who are well-versed in those specific blocks, i.e. tech issues. Trust me, I know what that's like. Or focusing on intrinsic reasons why I picked this up in the first place, a desire to create awesome music and have electric creative moments with others. And I can see that you are creating just something so amazing. And yes, so I'm just like really, really excited. So actually, before we move on to showing you what Chris actually does, he's going to give his inspirational advice on how to move and shake. 1, if you want to stream, it's very specific to streaming. Hey Chris, what's up? He's in the chat right now, and so I will show you guys the chat afterwards. So Chris, don't worry, I'll let you know what everybody's saying. So the first piece of advice is 1, invest in good audio, quality audio, strong internet, and a realistic schedule, which all really practical things that you should do. There are good entry-level mics. Almost no one enjoys listening to spotty audio. Say that 5 million times fast. Your viewers will also appreciate someone who consistently shows up. Yep. So that's, I do that with this show the best that I can. But 3 nights, I heard that you had added a 4th night to your stream, which is incredible. So 2, dig deep and discern why you want to stream. Is it to socialize, to showcase / grow a skill? Then focus on doing things aimed towards that why. So if you feel like you're throwing spaghetti it may feel like you're throwing spaghetti at a wall to see what sticks, but if your heart is towards the why, then doing them can only help you in the long run. So yes, totally. The why is like the main thing of why you should focusing on that. And actually we're going to be talking a bunch about that today. Sometimes our perception of self-worth comes from extrinsic factors, follower accounts, accolades, people telling us we're good, not good. Try to focus on intrinsic goals you can set for yourself. In quotes, he puts, I met 90% of my attendance goal. Intrinsic goals aren't as variable and can boost your sense of pride in your worth / work to help you in times you feel vulnerable. So I think this is like really, I just want to go over it really quick. So just, you have to invest your money in some, equipment and time to make sure that you're consistent, because that's how you build a business, right? And anyway, I know that it is a business. It's like a following, a community, whatever you're trying to build, consistency is key. And then focusing on the why, and then really thinking about where your self-worth is, and that can really play a really key. It's like a key factor in all of this. So I'm gonna go and show you some pictures of Chris, in action. But I also downloaded his promo video on his Twitch channel just because I felt like I wanted to show you guys, his thing. And I put in the show notes, I have links to his Instagram, YouTube, and his Twitch. So I'm gonna go into I guess I'm gonna play the video. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Chris, aka Songco Jam. So you're probably wondering, what does this guy do? I like to freestyle rap quite a bit. Got the movement speed boost, shock you up like a Pichu. Creamy soup showcases the sweetness of the vegetables when you eat. I also do guitar vocal loop covers from time to time, mixing the music up. I gotta make you understand, never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run. A little bit of gaming, Yeah, I could rock the controller or the keyboard. I could do a little bit of that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah! Oh, what the along with the myriad of other zany activities. I'm Songco Jam, and this is the Late Night Gang. Welcome in.
And there you have it. There's Chris Songco. Thank you so much, Chris. Let's go into the chat. And let's see what people are saying. Carol Gordon, aka Eastman, says that she loves it, aka my Aunt Carol. Thank you, Aunt Carol, for tuning in. And you guys are talking on the through YouTube, and I know that everyone is gonna dig this, and I do have people who watch after the show who I know that you're gonna be an influence on after the fact, because I have people who watch the show who are interested in doing something like this, even with the text, right? I want them. Was that a money gun? It was a money gun. Yes, I know that's a lot of your promo shots too. You shoot the money gun, and it goes in front of the camera lens, and I really always enjoy. I'm an easy audience. What can I say? But you guys have to check out his Instagram and his YouTube channel, because a lot of it, like if you're not on Twitch, I mean, he does have snippets of what he does on through his live streams. But not just that, Chris writes original music, and I kind of wanted to show that, but since he showed he mostly spoke about his Twitch channel, I want to specifically plug that. And Chris, I'm so happy that you are just so focused and driven on what you're doing. I'm like just so thrilled, really. And every time you come out like with a music video, it's just I'm so pumped about everything that you're doing. And like I feel like it inspires me, right? It's like, yeah, like I could do that. Like I'm gonna do that too. And so again, I always appreciate just I appreciate how hard you work, because it inspires me and it pushes me. And so I'm gonna and going into that, I want to go right into the Believe in Your Damn Self segment, because I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about a story this week of what happened to me, and so I wanted to talk about comparison. And I know if you guys are watching this on a phone, this chart is probably like unreadable, but part of doing something and accomplishing things, and it doesn't have to be these huge tasks, or it doesn't have to be something that you're like writing a book, and it's just it could be like something that's minimal. But a big part of it, what I talk about on the show, is believing that you can do it. And I wanted to go over that because I kind of had like a little bit of I kind of like went to like a weird place of comparison, which I normally don't do. So, inside of this circle, we have, in the mindset, be kind to yourself. And I feel like being kind to yourself, comparing yourself to others, is something that is unkind. So I felt like this kind of fit in that category. So I'm going to start off with a couple quotes. Comparison is the thief of joy, Theodore Roosevelt. Stay in your lane. Comparison kills creativity and joy. So the same thing. It's taking away your joy, by Brené Brown, who just rules. Comparison kills creativity. Stop comparing and start creating, which that is such sage advice. So, and we're going to go over more of that later. So, honestly, I think it's normal to compare. I think that it's honestly happened since like the dawn of, cavemen. If I were a caveman and looked at this caveman, I'd be like, oh, wow, like I need to like up my game with my looks. So, yeah. But I think it's normal. I think it's a normal thing. We're human. We look in the mirror. Well, most of us look in the mirror every day, and then we look at something else, and a lot of times we're looking at someone's curated feed on their Instagram or Facebook, and like you're looking at like a highlight reel. And this has just been something in the past 10 years where all of us are like, oh, like I wish I could go on that vacation, but I don't have enough money. Or, like it's like you just kind of feel like, well, a lot of times you're just like, you go through a feed and you're like, wow, I'm someone who's not successful and I'm a bloated, unsuccessful turd, right? So I think that it's really important to be able to kind of see these things happening in real time. And, uh, again, like seeing the highlight reel, you're seeing somebody else's highlight reel. You're not seeing like when their kids are like slapping them in the face, right? Like when like they have like a 2-year-old and their 2-year-old slaps them, and you're not seeing that. You're just seeing it like, where the kid's like being cute. So, recently, this last year I joined this music marketing group, and it's a company. It's called Indepreneur, and I've always been a nerd for music marketing. I've always been a nerd of like how like, I'm making a poster or I'm doing, something to promote something, just spreading the word. And because I feel like marketing is a way of connecting with people, and it's not so much like of a sales thing for me. It's more of like connecting with people, right? So, anyway, so I joined this community because there's all these other fellow music marketing nerds, and I was like, wow, like I have like, these are my people. Like, this is exciting. And a couple months ago, I started attending their events where it was like a monthly happy hour. So, usually it's on a Thursday. So from 6 to 8 o'clock, I'm hanging out with these people. We're talking about what marketing techniques we're using, and we're sharing ideas. And it's just been so wonderful. And I'm just like, I feel so happy that I have found this. And I haven't, I tell my stories and like where I've been and where I hope to be. And it turns out that Gracie Phillips, who is the community, I would say she's like the community liaison. And she emailed me last month and was like, hey, like, do you want to be April's indie spotlight on our blog? And we really like this, like we like the story of how when you had your money stolen away from Pledge Music, that you found a way to re-raise the money with a plugin on your own website, and like that was like a really indie artist thing to do. And so I was like, whoa, like they want to feature me. Like I was like so excited and so pumped and so flattered. And so I was like, okay, like this is cool. I felt really excited. So, she sent me her questions, and I took a bunch of time to I took a lot of time to make the questions very story oriented and interesting. And then I took some time and I looked at some of the other featured blogs, people that were featured on the blogs, and oh man, I was like, okay, like these people, I wanted to see how long their answers were, but of course I like start looking into their websites and their social media accounts. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, these people like really have their marketing acts together. So I get the questions done, I send them in, and the night before the article is going to come out, I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh, like I can't believe this. Like I'm just like so much further behind than all these other people that are featured, and I was just feeling like so bad, and like just like I was like regretful of all the things that I should have done and taken care of. And because my biggest thing is that I know my weaknesses and I know my strengths. So I know what I'm missing. I don't even need to compare myself to other people. Like I'm always comparing myself to myself. And man, I like literally, I got like no sleep that night. And so, and like I knew, I was like, wait, like you're being ridiculous. Like I was like logically, I was telling myself, stop it. Like, what are you doing? You know better. And, the article came out, and, and it was like, I don't know how many people are going to be reading this. It probably like, it's not like hundreds of thousands of people are going to be reading this and then reading another feature and going, oh, that other girl, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And I knew that somebody was getting something out of what I wrote, because obviously they would not have asked me to do this. So I just wanted to kind of be, vulnerable with you guys because I know that, I come on the show and I'm doing, a thing and I'm mostly showing confidence, mostly because I'm having a good time. Um, anyway, if you guys, I probably should have put the link into this on in the show notes, but I totally forgot. Maybe I'll do it after the fact. So I felt like this was a really good opportunity for all of us to kind of think about when this occurs, right? So this is, the questions that I kind of look through some blogs and some other, like I watch some TED Talks because that's what I usually do for this segment. I really get a lot out of these segments for myself because I'm learning techniques to basically tell you guys about how you should maybe handle if this happens to you. Because I started doing the Believe in Your Damn Self flow chart because I wanted to give practical advice to everyone who watches the show because I want you guys to, like, when it says stop streaming and like the stream has ended, I want you guys to go, okay, this week I'm doing this. And I want you guys to feel motivated and feel like you can do that and feel uplifted. So anyway, questions to ask ourselves. So what sends me into a tailspin of comparison? So I think it's kind of good to know what kind of is that, like that trigger button, right? Or like what pushes your buttons that when you go on like a certain Facebook account or like someone shows up in your feed and you're like, oh, like this person, I like what they're doing, but I always feel bad because I always feel bad because it makes me feel less than. And I think that sometimes there is a point, and this is not necessarily what I'm into, but sometimes there is a point, and this could be like on Instagram where someone, started like, I'm going to work out. And then they only show workout photos and then they're looking really good. And you're like, oh, like I probably should move. Wait, I can't have like, Tostitos every day. So I think just knowing what makes you feel good and not, and comparison, honestly, it's not just creative, right? Like we do it with like our bodies and it just seems like, oh, it's like, oh, this person's a great cook, but I only know how to make macaroni and cheese from the box. Like it could be anything, but I am trying to talk about it in a creative sense because I do feel like it steals our creativity when we're comparing people. So, I just want people to think about that because it's really good to have that constant awareness. And actually, I read one article, Faith sent me an article about this where a woman gave her, like when she hears that voice, she gave that particular voice, the comparison voice, a name. So when like, Muffy, I'm gonna give mine my comparison mindset, a persona, and where Muffy comes up, I can say, "Shut up, Muffy! I'm doing my thing. Get out of my way." And I just thought that was pretty funny. So maybe you can use that. 2, how can I quickly move past this pocket of comparison and use it to make me better? I watched this TED Talk by this guy named Dean Furness, Furnes, and he did a whole TED Talk about how he ended up. I think something happened where a horse fell on him, or something happened with his. He was on a farm, so I'm sorry to generalize with a tractor or a horse, but he ended up becoming paralyzed from basically like from his abs down, and he was just saying how you couldn't compare yourself, like he couldn't compare himself to his old self because it's completely different. And then he decided to do marathons in a wheelchair. And then he's like, well, and then he was looking up all the people who were going to be there and he's comparing himself to those people. And he's like, wait a minute, like, no, like I have to say, wait, okay, I see the difference between this and how can I move past this situation and make myself better? And that is like such sage advice. That's actually, most of that question is from him. So Dean Furness. 3, is there a way I can celebrate this person instead of comparing myself? And this is something that, and I've talked about on the show before, where people I used to get get that like tint of jealousy or like serious envy, and it was never really a positive feeling. I mean, I think envy is obviously better than jealousy, but I decided that I don't want to feel that way anymore. I feel like this person worked hard for what they did. They deserve to be celebrated. So, pretty much like most of my feed, if I see somebody achieving something, it doesn't, whatever feed on social media, I'm always like, hell yeah, do your thing. And because I let it inspire me. And I try not to, because again, it's like you're comparing apples to oranges or like oranges to donuts. Like, I don't know. Like, you're just comparing things that just are not comparable. And I think that also the way I feel about it too is if I want people to celebrate me, I have to celebrate them. And I noticed there was some relationships that I would have with people that kind of felt like competitive. And then once I started cheering them on, after a while, it changed the dynamic and they started cheering me on. And I think that's happened multiple times. And I think that it's just really important to just celebrate people instead of being like, oh, well, they don't deserve that because of XYZ. Like, I'm more talented or whatever. And it doesn't matter what it is. It feels good to cheer people on. Anyway, so that's how I feel about that. So, am I creating or consuming? And I think that we've talked about this. Like, when you're creating something, when you're making something, you're like at your best. Like when you're like, my cousin Susan. Like, I'm sure that you would like, when you're painting something, and you're just listening to music and you're doing your thing. That is probably some of the best times that you have in your life, and I think just creating all the time for me, I mean, granted, sometimes, with my music video, I feel like I'm on like, I'm in a rat race to finish it, but there's other things that I've had to deal with in the past couple weeks that have gotten in the way of that, and I'm like, oh no, this is way less fun. I don't want to do this. I would rather be creating and making my music video because there's all these problem solving techniques that I have to have and that I have to put forth. And so it's just really thinking about, I'm looking at this, wait, like, am I creating or am I consuming? I'm definitely consuming right now. Let me try to flip the switch and I think that should be like a thing where you can flip it on its head. Wait a minute, I feel terrible. Let me go make something. Let me go create something. So just to, again, Muffy, get the hell out of here. Watch me go write a song, whatever. All right, sorry, my logo's on a little, and hey, let me see if I can. Okay, I'll turn that back on in a minute. So, is this in alignment with my purpose and or goals? So you're looking at somebody and they're doing their thing, and it's like, okay, what are their goals? What are they working towards? Because most likely they are not working towards what I'm working towards. So it's like a really it's a weird measuring stick, right? Like it's like you're not comparing the same things. And I think what happens is that you're looking at these things and again comparing apples to oranges, and you're like, I don't know. I think that like I'm trying to think, what was the saying that like you're making like happiness a moving target. You're just like moving the target around. And I know that I definitely I'm definitely guilty of that. It's like, oh, I think this will make me happy. And then I'll make it super complicated. With this preparing for the show today, I kind of like was thinking, okay, I'm going to do this. And I don't necessarily have a major ending closing segment. But you know what? I'm here. I'm showing up. I'm doing a thing. And mostly I just am doing this to give positivity to you guys. And doing this show has made, my cousin Susan said, I love how positive you are. Doing the show has made me more positive and makes me want to cheer people on even more. So again, I think that, when you don't want to move that target of happiness, like you want to just say, okay, like sometimes you have to turn those blinders on and say, you know what, I don't care if this person is, winning awards. That's not what I'm doing. I don't care that this person has lost, X amount of weight and has a six pack now, because that's not like like not who I am or what I do. Like, again, like just really thinking about it. So I just want to go over, like, think about what sends you in a tailspin of comparison. It's okay to unfollow people. It really, really is. Like, it's if they make you feel crappy, it's like there's some people that I'm like, wow, they're so successful, but their posts are so, they just really get to you and you don't know why. And you're like, well, you know what? Like, sorry, they don't have to know that you're unfollowing them. But, again, how quickly can you move on? Like, if you realize you're in comparison mode, how quickly can you move on and say, all right, you know what? This makes me feel bad, or I'm comparing myself to a donut, and how can I quickly move on from that and make myself better? Because I think that, it doesn't matter what the measuring stick is. It's like, okay, like, how can I use this? There's my target of happiness and creativity. How can I take this and gear it towards that? And that's, the practical way. So is there a way I can celebrate this person instead of comparing myself? Because again, everybody's lives are different, right? I see people where it's like they may want, a marriage and a family and all this stuff. And you know what? It's not where they're at. But also, maybe that's not exactly what they wanted. They've been conditioned to want something like that. So it's like, I feel bad for people. It's like, oh, like everyone my age, I see the memes. It's like everyone my age is like, we have like, we bought our first house and we have our first kid and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, I'm just over here eating cheese out of a can. And you know what? Cheese out of a can is delicious. Well, it depends. I'm not a huge, it can be delicious. Let's just choose some other snack. But anyway, I think that, again, comparing yourself, it just, celebrate the person. You're like, you know what? That person seems really happy. Cool. Way to go. Heart. Next. Am I creating or consuming? Oh God, I'm consuming. I'm just like scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Like, what can I do right now to like kind of cleanse my soul's palette and create something? And is this in alignment? And like what I'm looking at right here, is it in alignment with my purpose or my goals? And if it's not, again, you just got to move on. So, all right. So I want to end with this. The only person you should try to be better than is who you were yesterday. And I truly believe that, and this is the way I feel about, and I've talked about this with many of you actually who are in this chat. I believe that I make it a goal to better myself on a daily basis. Not a goal. That's how I try to live my life. That's my lifestyle. And it is. Do I pass every day? No. Sometimes I fail with flying colors, but just being able to improve myself and love people more and love myself more, right? Like and I'm comparing I'm always my biggest critic. And that has been my biggest struggle, is like comparing myself to myself. And I want you guys to love yourselves. I want you guys to not sit and compare yourselves to other people, the apples and oranges / donuts. I want you guys to just love yourselves. Like, your life is not their life. And I want you guys to use this to fuel your creativity. I want you guys to find a way. Here's this thing. Oh wait, that kind of, that's not, I'm feeling a little bit bad. Why am I feeling bad? You know what? It means that I need to create. If you're feeling bad about something, that means you need to create something to lift your spirit up. So that's that segment. I hope you got something out of it. And I'm going to go back to the chat to see what people are saying. I know that people had some laughs at the cheese in a can. So Chris says, what's also funny is that tasty apples might be out of style right now, but the next hit later, just by circumstances, or oranges can be hot right now, but considered gross later by chance. Yes. Oh my gosh. That's like, it's very, very true. Doug says, I'm just over here eating cheese out of a can. Yeah. I don't know why that came to me. Yes. I didn't know that eating cheese out of a can could be a goal. I'm a success. No knocking the cheese in a can. I had a donut recently that tasted just like cheese, like canned cheese, and it made the week glorious. Oh man, I guess I gotta get some canned cheese out up in here as some kind of animations. But all right, so I don't have usually I have a segment that follows this, and I didn't prepare one, and I'm gonna forgive myself for that. I worked pretty hard on this segment, and I am gonna um I'm gonna talk just a little bit more about um the show itself. So episode, next episode is uh 2 Tuesdays from now, because Joanna has a recording session on the Monday night, and I need to make sure that she is allowed to do her thing. And so I will definitely promote that for next time. And again, if anybody ever has any suggestions of things that maybe topics I should maybe talk about, and I know that people really like the interviews, so I am trying to figure out. Faith and I have been kind of like thinking about what we can put in this segment. We're trying to make sure that the next season, and speaking of next season, we're doing 3 more episodes from this point on. So we've been doing it bi-monthly because of all the music videos that I have to make. So it's just impossible for me to be able to focus on everything. So, and then 2 episodes in June. And then we're going to take off July and August. I always kind of found that over the summer that people are just on vacation doing their own thing. And then in September, we're going to be doing the show. I'm hoping to go back to a weekly schedule, and then also, and if not that, then possibly, I know that what's definitely going to happen is a Soft Pants Nation laboratory. So that is Susan, don't compare the amount of segments in each show. It's very true. Thank you. So yeah, the show, I want it to be the entertainment, the entertainment section of the show I want to fulfill. So I feel like I've really, Faith has really helped me hone in the messaging, and I feel like I'm getting a lot out of the show, which means I feel like that other people watching the show religiously are getting something out of the show as well. And I think what's going to happen for next season that starts in the fall is that the entertainment piece, I want to feature dancers and more people singing and comedians. And I always kind of find that when I do like holiday specials that I love them for that purpose, because it's very entertaining. So that's where we're at. And I'm just going to play a tune. And actually, considering the show has run about 48 minutes by this point, so pretty good, Duncan. Oh, okay. There we go. I remember this time around. Simple days have come and gone, and I need to find a place where I belong, far away from city base, 'cause I'm holding out for some open space where I hear that brand new life calling out my name. I got myself a place to go. I thought that I should let you know. I'm pretty sure that I would be happy living in Tennessee, on a front porch drinking lemonade. I'm pretty sure that you would be happy living in Tennessee. You by my side, baby, we'll have it made. time has come to break your plans. Throw caution to the wind and take a chance. Let's pack our bags and drive away. There's blue skies waiting, baby, let's leave today. I can hear that brand new life calling out your name. I got yourself a place to go. I thought that I should let you know. I'm pretty sure that I would be happy living in Tennessee on a front porch drinking lemonade. Pretty sure that you would be happy living in Tennessee. You by my side, baby, we'll have it made. Well, everybody thinks I've gone crazy, but I think I finally found my peace of mind. I'm gonna kick my heels up and be lazy, really find out what it means to be alive. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure that I would be happy living in Tennessee on a front porch drinking lemonade. I'm pretty sure that you would be happy living in Tennessee. You by my side, baby, we'll have it made. I'm pretty sure that I would be happy living in Tennessee. You by my side, baby, we'll have it made. Hey, Alice. Pretty sure that I would be on a front porch drinking lemonade. I'm pretty sure that you would be happy living in Tennessee. You by my side, baby, we'll have it made. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. You know, I want to ask you, as I ask you every week or, well, every episode, what are you going to create today? What are you going to create this week? What are you going to create this month? Like, how are you going to take the things that we talk about here and do the things that you love, you know, because I just want you to be kind to yourself. And I got to be kind to, I wasn't kind to myself last week, and I want you guys to learn from my mistakes, you know, and thinking about how you measure your success, you know, thinking about that, and then, you know, putting yourself out there, because you're doing your thing. You're going to get better every single time you do your thing and put it out there, and just making the world a better place. So it's like rambling, but I believe in you, and you don't need anyone's permission to believe in you. You don't need my permission to believe in you, but I want to give you permission to give yourself permission to believe in yourself. So I hope you guys have a great night, and thanks to Chris for letting me feature you. And so Chris is saying, I will create a YouTube video and not let perfectionism stop me from doing the thing. Chris, just keep doing what you're doing. Everybody here has seen how talented you are, and I'm just excited to keep cheering you on. So on that note, everybody, have a great night. Oh no,